What's going on, guys? Hey, we're here with episode number 18, Reseller Information Network. 18 in the books. As of today, that's pretty good. We're pushing our way, pushing our way right on up. Like it seems like only yesterday we were starting out as baby fledgling reseller network anchors and co-host and all the other news network things. None of us have resorted to going to blazers and ties at this point, but who knows? You never know. You never know what's coming next. We do have a patented uniform. And that would be hats, of which Cernoch is wearing a beast of a hat today, the shark tooth. And of course, Leroy always sporting the Steelers or Ravens, depending on what day it is. No, I'm just kidding. And Tim, man, Tim's like me. You never know what you're going to get when you come in. Like he's moved away from the Musselman, that company. But today he's sporting a little baseball. I do believe.
Nice little vintage sports specialties all-star hat from 93.
Awesome. Hey, so we are going to jump into some sourcing, but first of all, we do want to give an intro, as Leroy reminded me of last time. Sorry, guys, that I forgot I did the intro, but we do want to go ahead and give the guys a chance to introduce just a little bit. We'll start off with that big time shark's tooth doubles.
Yeah, we got the shark tooth. This is the OG one. It's a little dirty. It's a little shaped. It fits the head perfectly. I was like, you know what? Why not? It's in my keeper pile for right now. So yeah, we're super excited. We're crunching through all the sourcing video or the sourcing aspects, and we're giving you more today. So this is that big part 2 we were talking about. Now, will there be a part 3? We'll see. So thanks for everyone. Hey, thank you for all your questions and comments. That's what we're here for.
Hey, next up, I had to catch him on the road today to get him in here, but Leroy.
What's going on, everybody? Listen, I appreciate everybody watching us. 18. I feel like 20 is around the corner. Think 20 is going to be a real good show, but 18 is amazing. I didn't think I'd be able to be here this long for 18. These guys still haven't me come around. So I'm very happy to be here, and that's it.
Yeah, we got Leroy under contract for a few more shows for sure. Last but not least, obviously, our multicaster. We're talking sports, glass, anything you can think of. He's in there on all of it. So there you go. Tim.
Big shout outs. I'm fighting the sun right now. Fighting the sun. It's coming in. I got to get these darn curtains up. I'm slacking, but I'm working. I'm working on organization. I'm working on mental health. I'm getting back to 100%. But big shout out to everybody who's tuned in. I'm excited to do part 2 of the sourcing information videos. I think this is a really cool little mini series we're putting together here. Definitely want to send some love to everybody out there who is checking us out every single week, either on Tuesdays during listening or loafing, or on Fridays when these episodes drop. We definitely appreciate all the love and all the support. I'm going to give you guys an update on 7-Eleven points, if I can remember how to do my passcode on my phone properly. And shout out to everybody who's following me on Whatnot. We just crossed 4,000 followers on Whatnot, so I'm super excited about that. 4,000 followers, 9,000 items sold. So definitely pretty cool stuff on Whatnot. Let's check out the 7-Eleven point status, and then we're going to get rocking and rolling here, ladies and gentlemen. All right, here we go. I don't remember where we were at last time, but right now, I feel like I haven't really done a lot more, but 103,544. So that'll be – by the time we do like another one, like in another one of these outside of this one that's coming out, when this one comes out, I'm going to try and get to 105,000. We'll see.
There you go. Hey, I did want to give a shout out to, we have one comment today, and I think it's pretty funny because, so if you guys don't watch us on Tuesdays, I don't know what you guys are doing in your reselling life. We're on there on Tuesday listing and loafing, working and hang out, and occasionally we get just like a little nugget dropped. Well, more than occasion. It's almost like, dude, you're panning before anybody knew what gold was. You're already able to get those nuggets and nuggets and nuggets. But occasionally we get like one of those quotable moments. So here's a quotable moment from Tuesday by Grams and Pop Vintage. It says, people of Walmart, people of whatnot, people of Facebook, people of eBay, they're all the same people. Tim over the edge. We really need to start jotting these things down, laughing out loud. For us, occasionally we do get just these moments that we can clip out and be like, hey, that's a quote for it. And we tried to prevent those kind of situations going down as far as like us being those people that he's referring to. And so that's why we do welcome all comments and all comers. We don't mind even comments that may be a little hateful at times, but I can tell you we are a no drama llama zone. Like we try not to get it going here too much, but occasionally someone needs a little bit of calling out occasionally. So we have all taken turns in those directions at times. So feel free to join us on Tuesdays, 9:30 to 2 p.m. We're going to jump right in and get on this sourcing thing. Today we've got a few ones that we want to reach into. The first of which is auctions. And we're just going to deal with the side of in-person auctions today. But I know that some of these guys are into the in-person auctions. I have done in-person auctions. Sometimes they're good, sometimes they're bad for me. But we're going to start out by, I know this is where he does a lot of sourcing. So we want to give Leroy a chance to get going.
What's going on, guys? Check this out. Listen, you have no idea. I'm going to one tomorrow. I was going to the bank. These guys stopped me from going to the bank because I was getting my money. I got my whole $500 and I'm ready. I was already looking at pictures today, everything. All right. Listen, I'm excited. I'm sorry, you guys. You brought up the wrong word. So, but auctions, I love on-site, in-person, estate auctions, not estate sales. I can't say it enough. People say, "Oh yeah, I know an estate auction." No, you don't. An estate auction is not something that has price tags on it. You sit there, you're there all day, and you're bidding on stuff with some, and you have to have good willpower to stop when you think it's too high. The best way to get auctions for me is box lots. I love box lots. I'll see a box, I'll say, okay, 5, 10, 15. Okay, I see $15 right here. I'm not researching anything. I'll pay $15, $20 for this. If I dig more in it and I see some other stuff, then I'll go up a little bit higher. If I see a toolbox, I'll price the drawers in the toolbox. I'll say that's a $20 drawer, a $50 drawer, a $60 drawer, a $70 drawer, whatever I see in the drawers, and then I'll bid up to that money there. The site that I use, I don't know if Eric can put it in the bottom right down there. It is auctionzip.com. I've been using auctionzip.com for over 20 years, guys. When I say that, it's no joke. That's where I do all of my sourcing for tools. My best auctions came from auction.com, and probably every month that's where I'm getting my auctions from. If anybody has any questions about auctionzip.com, please feel free to message me on Instagram. It's Blood Sweat Sell on Instagram, and I'll try to walk you through it or tell you what to stay away from. Saturday auctions are always good because that's on Auction Zip. That's when your estate auctions are. That's when your estate auctions are. Usually the person's either deceased or they're moving, and they just go through stuff. Sometimes in the beginning of the auction, it ends up being a little expensive when you get some of these knuckleheads banging heads. Well, wait till they run out of money. If you only have a certain amount, wait, they're gonna run out of money. They're gonna be tired of bringing stuff to the car. So just slow down. Just take a step, go for a walk, go talk on your cell phone. Just put your mind somewhere else while you're there, and then go and go back in a little bit, and then you'll get some of the stuff cheaper, because you don't have to, unless you're getting it for yourself, you just want to get product. So, if it's something you're really chasing, then, of course, sit there. I don't want to be too much more winded on this, because I can go on and on and on and on and on and on. So, again, any questions about it, please feel free to message me on Instagram.
Cernoch.
I've been to a few. I haven't been to that many recently. Because it all got shut down during COVID. So like pre-COVID, I was doing them. It's one of those things, kind of like Leroy said. Sometimes you may be there in the entire day, okay, for something. So what I suggest is plan it out. Plan it out. So if you have it where they do because sometimes they do an online preview. So if they do an online preview, go through every picture, look at it, see if you see stuff. It can definitely help. Yeah, zoom in, look in the corners, look at all those things. And then sometimes out here, there's one auction house out here that's in my city that they have them on Sundays, and they allow you to do a live walkthrough on Saturday, so you can kind of go in and see, hey, is it going to be worth my time showing up on Sunday to spend there? And they do some different things. So whenever you go, and this is how I would say, whenever you go to a live auction, just go in there, look, and listen. Listen to what other people are saying. Just get the gist of it, because you don't want to look like that newbie guy, because some of those people that have been there, they'll make sure you don't get that item, whatever you bid. I've had that before happen. Don't talk comps to anybody. Don't talk anything to anybody, because you never know if that's the person that's going to be bidding against you on those certain items. So, definitely do that.
I've helped people bring stuff to their car and been very nice to them. So then when something else comes up that I didn't get the first one, I'll get the second one, because they'll feel like, oh, he's a good guy.
Yeah. So, yeah. And then, say, make friends, talk to people, so if you're sitting around some people, like strike up a conversation, see what they're into, so, and then the box lots. Yes, the box lots are important. And something, again, like figure out how your auctions go, because there's a lot of times with these estate clean out auctions they do, if it doesn't sell, they chunk it. So they will allow you, certain places may even allow you to take stuff that didn't sell. I was at this one auction, all this stuff didn't sell, and they were like, have at it, because we're going to throw it away anyway. I came across vintage 1940s, 1950s airplane magazines, a whole stack of them. I mean, a whole stack of them. No, it was bigger. It was like, it was like 3 boxes of them. Yeah, it was stacks. And it was some crazy stuff. I ended up making over $500 just from those airplane magazines, and I got them for free. So again, with these auctions, figure out what's going on, and again, sometimes you may have to just go and, if you have a local auction, just go and sit and see what happens. So when you go the next time, you'll be more prepared. So that's kind of my suggestions.
Tim?
Yeah, I mean, listen, these guys hit on so many fantastic points there. This is the other thing. Every auction house is going to be ran different. Okay, so you got to kind of familiarize yourself with one at a time, but also I think it's important to kind of be up if you have the ability to be up to travel. So I'm fortunate to a certain extent because of where I live. I can go to Maryland. I'm here in DC. I can go to Virginia, Pennsylvania, Delaware, West Virginia. They're all within a 2 to 3 hour drive if need be. Like if I find something that is like totally worth it. Now, I think The main thing to touch on some of the stuff that Leroy and Cernoch talked about is don't give away your interest in an item. This happened to me once. I almost got into a fight with somebody at the auction. Like literally, like that switch came on where Tim was like not nice Tim anymore, and I was about ready to just jab this dude in the face. But I walked outside and I calmed down. You know what I'm saying? But definitely don't because sometimes like it's just a natural reaction. You see something on a table, you pick it up, you're like, holy crap, like this is like a crazy item, and so like I ended up losing out on something that was really big and it was upsetting. But definitely want to be low key with your facial expressions when you're browsing the tables. Now, a lot of places will do table auctions. So, like, if they'll sell everything singularly on the table, and then if whatever doesn't sell on the table, they'll auction off the whole rest of the table. So that's a good way to kind of get a bulk lot there. Also, definitely look at the pictures online so you can kind of scout and pre-comp some stuff. And then also when you're thinking about money, you got to always factor in the fees. That's one thing I think that is not as easily to forget. You're like, oh man, this is only going to be like $20. And then by the time you get to the checkout window, you like $35 in, you know what I'm saying? Tax fees, everybody got to get their money out of it. So you just keep that in mind when you're doing your comps, obviously that'll definitely help you out. And then if you're dealing with electronics and stuff like that, if you have the capability of testing things, make sure you test them before you bid on them. That's something that definitely will save you a lot of hassle in the end. Also, if you're dealing with glass and stuff like that, make sure you pick things up and feel them, because a lot of times in these auctions, they'll try and just slide a piece in and there's damage and they don't know and you don't know. And next thing you know, and you get screwed. So it's like, you gotta be careful with stuff like that. And don't get caught up in the competitive nature of an auction, because I've done that before. You guys know, I'm sure by now, I'm a very competitive person. I don't like to lose. But yeah, so those sort of things are tips that you definitely want to take into consideration. But definitely, it's just like anything else. If you have the ability, if the information is out there for you to do your homework, because that's how you get ahead of the game. A lot of these people, there are professional auction goers. Okay. So you're going to be up against some of the best. And Leroy's a professional auction goer. I mean, I'm a professional wherever I go. You know what I'm saying? I walk into Joan like I'm, Maverick and Top Gun. You know what I'm saying? So you got to be careful. But most importantly, do your homework. The opportunity is definitely there to make a lot of money. And then also, if you can lot things, my auction house that I used to go to, I don't go as much. That's a whole nother story. But you can bundle stuff up. So like whenever I bundle stuff up, kind of think about your cost of goods as, your total price and then divide it by the total items. And then that's going to give you your cost of good per item. So then you can kind of feel a little bit better about your room for profit. So those are some stuff I like to share about the life of going to auctions.
There you go. I'll tell you my first auction story. So for me, this is kind of wild. The very first auction I went to in person, other than being a little kid, like when I had my own money. My granddad used to take me to a little farm auction when I was younger, and I've been to livestock auction and all that stuff with him before. But the first one I went to as a reseller, I get there and I got there early. That's tip number one. Get there early so you can peruse everything, look and make sure. And then the next thing I did is I did do some comping, and I tried to be discreet with it. But I found they had like these old school tin toys. I mean, like the stuff from the Patriot, like they was melting down into bullets, like little tin soldiers. And I was like, man, those things are worth money. So I'm bidding. There's another lady in front of me bidding. Now she had all her grandkids there with her, right? She bought those things for way more than what I was willing to pay. And they're sitting in front of me, like clanking them into each other. To which my eyes started twitching a little bit, because I was like, let me get to the dollar store and get you some toys to play with. Like, and I'll buy them from you. But I learned something that day. Don't fall in love with the item. Because if you fall in love with the item, you will tend to overpay. I actually bought an Edison, like one of the early, not record player, but like the tube player, like Like it has the wax tubes that you put on there. And I didn't preview that particular one. I previewed the other two. They went higher than what I wanted to pay, but I was going after them because I wanted one, because I just thought it'd be cool to own an Edison phonograph. Like I thought that'd be cool. So I did that, ended up way overpaying. And when I got the item and the guy brought it to me, I lifted the top off of it and all the pieces were on top, but nothing was underneath. That was missing, which made that thing basically worth half of what I thought it was, and more than less than what I paid by far. So those are my couple of tips. Is make sure you're doing that. For me, like these guys have already said, know your auction house, like know what their fees are. Mine actually allows you, if you do have a business license number, you can pay no tax if you'll give them the number ahead of time. The other thing is, like, my one particular auction house I go to occasionally, they start everything at $5. If nobody bids, they will put it together, but they'll never go below $5. So for me, there's no point in looking at anything that you guys know my cost of goods, dude. If I'm not making money on it, I ain't spending $5 per item on stuff. So it's really got to be good. And then also, once you've been a few times, you kind of begin to know your competition. Okay, well, this guy's the military guy. I know if there's anything military, he's going to bid on it. This guy's the sports card guy. Like if there's anything that related, he's going to bid on it. So like you kind of got to feel that stuff out. I do agree with Leroy. I go to a country farm auction occasionally, and it is rows and rows and rows of boxes. And like the trick to those things, same thing, go early. But here's the trick to those: go early and stay late.
Mm-hmm.
Because if you go early, like you can see what's in those boxes. If you stay late, the way this auction does it is basically you bid and they make rows. Like if you go to my Instagram, I have an old video of them riding around on a 4-wheeler, but they make rows and they may go 6 feet if no one's bidding, or they may go 10 feet, or they may say the rest of the row. And then people just pick out of there what they want. They leave the rest in the field.
Mm-hmm.
Everything left in the field at the end of that night, they make a big bonfire out there. So I'm out there like a vulture, bro. Like I'm out there like, hey, I'm scooping every bit of it that I can this did. So those are like great tips from the guys. And like I said, those would be my thing is don't fall in love with the item, go early, stay late. Leroy.
There again, guys, like I said, I can go on, but excuse me. Please be careful. These auctioneers know what they're doing. They will run you up and nobody else is bidding. Pay attention. There's times where there'll be stuff on a table and they'll tell you it's the bid is per item.
Yeah.
So you'll be bidding on something and you'll think, oh, I'm getting this whole thing for $15 when you're paying $15 each one. Mm-hmm. But it's the count. You have to get the count. Yeah. So it's not that you just only have to get one of 15. No, they'll say you're bidding on the count. The guy will say there's 25 of them. Yeah. So you're bidding on the count. And these auctioneers are sneaky. Some of them are slick, some of them are dirty. Please be careful because they will run you up. I've tried standing in the back and then they make it look like somebody in the front's bidding against me. I've started standing in the front and then somebody in the back is bidding on me. So you got to be friendly with them. I bring them Dunkin' Donuts cards. I rub them on the shoulder. Hey, buddy, how's everything doing? You good? You good, buddy? Because if you're not friends with them, they'll put you under. They will take everything out of that pocket they can. So please be careful. These auctioneers, they know what they're doing, and some of them can be dirty.
Hey, I got one little thing for you guys. So the auctions you go to, like they have runners, right?
Yep.
That go and pull the next item to be auctioned. My other little tip is to get to know the runner, because I've numerous times, like the guy will come by me, I'll be like, "Hey, Gene, can you run that over there?" Like, and he'll go grab that and throw it in, because I know people that are in there. I know when people aren't there. So, like, if they're not there, I want him to run that item because I don't have to compete against them. Like, there's things like that. So, yeah, it's good to do a little recon. But that's what we got. All right. Next up, and I know this is the one that everybody's been waiting on because this is the one that seems to be one of the most popular forms of sourcing, which it can be. But, we've seen just I know all of us, the time that we've been reselling, this game has changed. So there's more to do. But thrift stores, so sourcing at thrift stores. Tim, give us an overview. What do you think?
Oh God! All right, I'm gonna be like, this is a speed round, okay? First of all, Goodwill sucks. I don't care what anybody says. Goodwill sucks.
Bins or store?
Stores, Goodwill stores suck.
Yeah.
All right, and I say that in a half joking manner, okay? But and obviously, once again, the rule of thumb here, along with everything we always talk about, is everything is different depending on where you live, your situation. So your Goodwill might be like the all-star game Goodwill. My Goodwills and any Goodwill that I've ever been into in my entire life, 99% of them are garbage. Okay. But, I think it's important for people to understand that thrift stores are different. I know that new resellers, they hear Goodwill, then that or thrift store, and they think Goodwill, because a lot of people who do YouTube videos are like, oh, I'm at the Goodwill and I'm filling in my cart at Goodwill. But there's a million thrift stores out there. Okay. So don't necessarily feel like you have to go to Goodwills, because there are so many different thrift stores out there. Okay. Number 2, you obviously want to do your research. So like when I have time, I like to just do a day of thrift storing. Okay. So this goes back to yard selling. This goes back to everything that I do. It's very meticulous. Okay. So like I pull up the map of all the thrift stores within a certain mile radius, and I design a route, right? Okay. So then that way I can bang, hit as many thrift stores as I possibly can. Okay. Number 3, find out which days that the thrift stores are sales, okay? Because that's a good way for you to save money. And then if you frequent those thrift stores, a lot of these thrift stores will have points, okay? So you can build up points, and then once you get to a certain amount of points, you can cash those points in for a coupon. So that's definitely something that you want to consider too. I forgot. I think I'm on number 4. Number 4, don't forget that if you have stuff in your house, we talked about this before, you can donate it in some of these places, and they'll give you a coupon right there on the spot. You can do that at Savers, Unique. I think there's another name for one of that chain of stores, but what is it? Unique, Savers, and there's one Value Village. Those are the 3 that are all like one tree of thrift stores. Then, if you start to frequent a thrift store, find out which days and time of days that they're stocking their shelves, because that's also a very important thing. Because you're gonna go to these thrift stores. Listen, I don't know. At this point in time, reselling game is blown up so big. It don't matter where you live. There's going to be competition. And I know this, that some of my thrift stores, I call them campers. They just be out. They come in there with their cup of joe, like it's McDonald's, and they're like, war vets telling stories over McDonald's and McGriddles. You know what I'm saying? Because they're just there at the thrift store as soon as they open, and they don't leave until it closes. So, you got to watch out for those people. All right, number 4.
No, 5.
Number 5? Thank you. Number 5. Okay. Do not sleep on the church thrift stores that are open on like once a day, once a week. Those can be very, very clutch. So definitely keep those in mind as well. Number 6, don't forget to travel. You can travel to other thrift stores. You know what I'm saying? Make it a trip. Hit the flea market in the morning, then hit the thrift store on the way back home. Make it a trip. All right. Number 7, you got it. Once you start going to the same thrift stores, you got to build up a routine, like a little route. Okay, so like I could go into a thrift store and go through the entire thrift store in 5 minutes. I can also go into a thrift store and spend 3 hours, okay? It just depends on what my schedule is like, you know what I'm saying, if I got to go or if I got time. So, like I can hit a glass section really fast because I that's what I specialize in. So I see it a mile away. I go there first. I always hit the Pyrex section first because I know that in my area, there's a lot of people out here trying to find Pyrex. So I go to the Pyrex section first, work my way around, you know what I'm saying? And when you're doing clothes, it's so easy to pick up a piece of clothing, and then by the time you get home, you're like, damn, it's got a hole, it's got a stain. Make sure you do some nice viewing of your items, not just clothes, but everything before you leave, okay? And then obviously it's a lot easier to comp. Don't forget to use your Google Lens when you're in a thrift store. Thrift stores are a great opportunity for you to be able to learn on the fly, okay? So like if you're like striking out on your stuff that you normally go, like there's no glass, no hats, no vintage clothes, no golf clubs. I'm like, damn, like I don't want to be discouraged. So let me just pick something up. And then don't forget, if it's got a barcode and it's in a thrift store, scan it, because you never know. There might be something good there and you just wouldn't know until you scan it. I once picked up a whole stack of audio books sealed, and they were like 25 cents each. And I ended up making like $300 on those audiobooks. So it's just, there's so much that goes into thrift stores. I don't want to take up all the time. I know that these guys have a ton of stuff. So I just had to do a little speed round. I know I lost count. Hopefully that wasn't too fast and you guys were able to digest all that information. I'm sure I will add some more once these guys remind me about something that I forgot about. Whew.
I think you hit 10. Like David Letterman, top 10.
See this, guys? This is a cell phone. Google, okay? Tim
What's
said,
that picture of?
there is no picture. Tim said church sales. You're not going to see church sales advertised a lot. Now, my church tomorrow is having a sale, but I'll be at the auction. I'm still undecided what to do with that. But some of these churches, just type in. Okay.
That's your church caller. They need some help over there.
Yeah. Just type in church thrift shop, or type in on Google, church, put church and put thrift shop in your area. And they, like Tim said, they might be once a month. Once a month, they'll put stuff together, and then on a Saturday in the gym, they don't really advertise it. For me, Goodwills and all that, and no good for me. Nada. Because I do tools, and most people don't donate their tools. They said, "Oh, it's metal, it's scrap. I could bring it to the scrap yard and get 10 cents." So I lose out because these clowns want to make 18 cents on 50 pounds of tools. So I'm not really big on Goodwills or even the Goodwill bins. I'll go if I'm with my friends and stuff. But mine's gonna be short. I don't have 17 different scenarios like Tim. I'm gonna leave the room for Cernoch.
Cernoch's got like the Raiders of the Lost Ark. When you're looking for that Holy Grail, like he's got one of those kind of things.
All right, listen. Thrifting has really changed for me. So about like 3-4 years ago, like pre-pandemic, I was traveling everywhere. I was going everywhere. This, there, boom, boom, boom. Especially like before I went full time. I was hitting different places, and I kind of really nestled into this one spot that's like in my town, and I learned it, and I've been spoiled ever since. Okay, let me tell you something. I am spoiled rotten. I am that guy. I'm that guy that cut, like before they open, I'm standing outside talking with the other old guys and everything like that. And I'll go in there, I'll hunt, and then I just wait. Because they bring in product. Like if it's a nice sunny day, they're bringing in product all day. And they just basically have shopping carts, bring it in there, and they unload it, price it. And so if you're waiting, you get first pick almost. You're like, hey, let me see that. All right, I'll take that. Let me take that. All right, take that. So again, I am ultra spoiled. But here's the thing. That's what you kind of have to do because, like with Goodwill and their prices, everyone knows their prices across the country have gone way up. That's where you need to find these church, like the church or these mission-based thrift shops that are not so much worried about the price. They're worried about just taking care of their mission or taking care of their church or whatever. So they're just kind of like, hey, cool, just slap a price tag on it and send it out. So do your research. Listen, if you find that out of your 15 thrift shops in your area, that 2 of them are really, really, really good, then maybe instead of having to drive around, go to those 2 thrift shops Make those relationships. See how everything's coming in, because again, you may just need to go to those 2 thrift shops, and maybe every once a week or every 2 weeks go to those other ones. But if you know that good quality goods are coming into those couple thrift shops, you may want to camp there. You may want to sit there for a couple hours and see what comes in and talk to the staff and see what happens. You never know. So, but yeah, thrifting. I mean, thrifting, you never know what you're going to find as well. I think we've all had that where you just walk in the thrift store and you're like, how did that get here? How is this piece sitting right in front of me? So that's the great thing about thrift shops is, you can hit some serious home runs, and I think that's why everyone likes it. They love the hunt. They love the just going out there and searching. So just hopefully take some of these tidbits, take some of Tim's his 8-part series, and take it and really again, come with a game plan and do all these things. And the thing, you get better with time. The more you do it, the more you do it, the more you do it, even whatever niche you're looking at, you're going to be able to be better. So just don't, and my last thing, I'm going to say this before. Listen, if there ain't nothing in the thrift shop, leave.
Yeah.
Go. Okay? Because, go somewhere else. Or if because you don't want to waste your time. You know what I'm saying? So that's why I said really kind of investigate these thrift shops to see if they are bringing stuff in all the time, then you might want to stay. But, if you're going to, listen, I'll pop into Goodwill every 2 or 3 days. I look, boom, 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 nothing, I'm out, So, no, save your time, save your energy, save your money.
Yeah, for me, when I first started, like a lot of people, I started in the thrifts because I didn't really we don't get a ton of yard sales out here where I'm at, and that was kind of what I had to work with. So started in the thrifts, and what I did is I got an education, like Tim alluded to. Like if you got a chance to look up things, what you're doing is you're putting things in the memory bank. Like even if it's overpriced, still look it up, just because if you don't know what that's going to do for you down the road when you go to that auction, when you go to that yard sale, when you go to that storage unit or whatever you're looking at, then you've got more ammo in the clip, you've got more things that you can look at that you say, hey, I know what that is. For me, I learned a ton in that. I have found some slip through the cracks stuff. I will say pre-COVID, prices were about half what they are now in my thrifts. Like I used to back then, I could actually go in a day and get 30, 40 items in a day. If I was being studious about it, once I figured things out. I did a lot of media to begin with because those are easy, scan the barcode, that kind of thing. But for me also, thrifts now are super expensive. Occasionally you'll have something slip through the cracks, but just like these guys said, it's better to stay away from corporate type scenarios. I know people think Goodwill is a not-for-profit company, and that is not the case. They are their CEO makes more money than most Fortune 500 companies. So it's one of those things. Their Goodwill is that they create jobs in their community. Well, so does every other business in the world. That's what they do. So it's one of those things. I mean, I know I've seen Commonwealth Picker put out videos about don't donate to Goodwill anymore. I personally have better luck at just what these guys have said. Local, either mom and pop thrifts or local mission thrifts, not necessarily the mission. I have a mission thrift here. People that are donating those calls, because what happens with a lot of those type thrift stores, they have volunteers working. Now, how it was pre-pandemic for us, it's our local thrift stores had a lot of volunteers working. And then once the COVID hit, and they reopened, it was all managers doing pricing throughout all that. So all the prices went through the moon, and they didn't see what the thing is. That being said, I've developed relationships with a couple thrift stores that I can go in and have a little, in fact, one of my thrift stores, I'm not on the level of Cernochs. They just don't get the the volume of goods in there, but literally they'll hold stuff back for me. They'll call me and say, "Hey, we got this." I just got a whole lot of horror movies that I sold in one day because they're like, "Hey, I've been saving these horror VHS before we were throwing VHS away." So like I have that, but thrifts, like, it's a good place to learn. And if that's all you got in your area, start looking elsewhere. That's really where my motto is because there's cheaper places to buy for sure than thrift stores. When I watch people pay like $8 and $10 for clothing and sell it for 25, I hate to be the one to bear the bad news for you, but you're not going to make it long. Like on that month, you might be netting $1.50, $2 a sale. That's a lot of sales to make and a lot of work you're putting in. Mm-hmm. So just, for me, the margins, if the margins don't make sense, I know these guys, we're all cheap, but we'll be straight up. Occasionally we'll pay up for stuff. But our idea of paying up and other idea of people's paying up is different usually. So for us, I'm looking to be under 20%. Like if eBay says it sells for 100, the most I'd pay is $20. Mm-hmm. And that would only be if I knew it would sell within 2 or 3 weeks. Like that's just how I am. Usually we're 10% and under. I know most of us try to operate on that mantra. So like when you're looking at a thrift store and they're selling clothes for $5.99, they're selling for $15, like it don't add up for me. It don't add up for me unless it's like 300% sell-through rate, then I might pick it up. But that's my take on the thrift. A great place to learn. I wouldn't stay there for the rest of your career. Bin stores are a little different. Like the prices are cheaper. If you're in there and you're dealing with clothing, like you can get a lot for little. So if you're doing bins, like that's kind of a little different form of thrifting. The margins are probably be better in your favor, but you, like Tim said, you better look carefully because if it's in the bin, dude, it's been handled. I can tell you. So look for those things that you can problems with different things. Mm-hmm. All right. So the next one I've got for us is an interesting one. Dumpster diving. Have you guys ever done the D&D or maybe curbside pickup kind of thing? Cernoch.
All right, so I have done both. I've done curbside pickup. Like driving down the road, especially even like in my community. Like, what? Like stop, go in there. And I know a lot of people are like, oh my God, you're digging through your neighbor's trash. It's like, listen, it's sometimes there was one house that was getting like renovated and someone was moving in. There was all kinds of shelving, all kinds of just a lot of stuff that I was going by and I was like, oh, yep, take that. Oh, take that. Oh, take that, and there was some things that was, there was a piece of electronics in the trash. I forget what it was, but it was like a $300 piece of electronic just in the trash. Not brand new, but it worked and everything was fine. Thank goodness it didn't rain or anything like that. So yeah, so I've done that. And then like dumpster diving. Now here's the thing. Dumpster diving has that, like, there's a big gray area. You know what I'm saying? So if I can say anything, if anybody goes dumpster diving, be careful. Okay? Know where you're at, know your surroundings, and usually go at night. You know what I'm saying?
Wearing black clothing and a hood. No, I'm just kidding.
Yeah, because here's the thing: you're digging in someone else's property. You know what I'm saying? Now, here's the thing: I'll tell you something. A lot of these stores, they throw away stuff all the time. People would go, if you don't believe me, go look on just Google it. Dumpster divers. There's all these major brands that are just like, you know what? This stuff's out of season. Throw it away. And they're throwing away just brand new product right in the dumpster. And that's what they're finding. I don't do it too much. A buddy of mine and I did do some dumpster diving behind some Goodwills because in our area now, because I got pushback on this. In our area, our Goodwills throw throws away a
Mhm.
lot of stuff.
Mhm.
A lot of stuff. Here's the thing. My Goodwills, they don't bring much furniture in. Okay? They don't bring much furniture in. It all goes in the dumpster. Okay? And now here's the one thing. We were going, and then he sent me a video one night. He was out dumpster diving behind Goodwill. They started like getting paint and splattering paint everywhere. So just be cautious of those items, that's locked up. It just be careful, okay? Just be very, very careful. But I mean, there's people that do it, and they do it well. So yeah.
So,
I mean, all right. So dumpster diving is definitely a thing, okay? It's one of those things that used to be a thing more so back in the day, like, you know what I'm saying, before people made it a thing. That makes any sense to what I'm saying. So like once again, I'm not being a jackbutt, okay? I'm being, I keep it 100 with you guys. I always want to give you guys the real Tim. There's no sugarcoating it, okay? Just because you see somebody jump in a dumpster on YouTube and there's 100,000 people watching that video doesn't mean that you can do that, okay? It doesn't mean that it's real. Just gonna be honest with you guys, because there's a lot of people out here jumping in dumpsters, finding stuff that I don't think that was really in the dumpster. I mean, if somebody put it in a dumpster, I don't think somebody put it in a dumpster and thoughts of throwing it away. You know what I'm saying? So just proceed with caution is all I'm saying. Don't get your hopes up. It's always better when you don't think something's going to happen and then it happens than to think something's going to happen and it doesn't happen. Okay. So that's just the way I always want to give you guys that hard, tough love that some people might want to give you. Now, Cernoch gave you a whole bunch of stuff. I mean, be careful. I mean, you got to wear gloves. You know what I'm saying? Make sure you take a shower when you get back home. Like, you might want to burn your clothes. I mean, listen, you just you watch out for raccoons and possums. And because I'm going to be 100 with you. Ain't no way I'm jumping in no dumpster where I live, okay? Because I don't know what y'all know about, but in D.C., them rats bigger than possums, okay? Them Jones look like rats. You look like splinters running around the streets of DC. So, I'm not about to jump in no dumpsters where I live at. I'm just going to be real with y'all. Now, as far as like driving down the street on trash day, like in like, a neighborhood, I mean, look, I picked up tons of awesome stuff like that. But I think that there's a smart way to do things. And then there's a stupid way to do things. So just don't be stupid. Okay. Be smart, selectively dive in dumpsters at your own, will and cost or whatever. But yeah, there's definitely stuff to be found in the trash. And like, I will give you some advice. Now, this isn't dumpster diving, but this is more of like, we call them, where we live, we call them curb alerts is what we call them.
mm-hmm.
So like you can go on Craigslist and especially on like Saturdays and Sundays, like towards the end of the day, like when people have yard sales and they're tired of bringing that crap back inside their house, a lot of times they'll just put it to the curb and they'll put a sign on it that says free. So to me, that's the best way to go about doing it. I once found a $400 teapot. I was live on Instagram and I saw somebody was giving away a bunch of stuff that was on the free on the curb, and I had no idea. I just grabbed it all. Then I got home and I looked at the teapot. It turned out to be like a $300+ teapot, and I was pretty stoked about that. So yeah, there is treasure out there. Just maybe more so on the curb than in a dumpster. Sorry, that felt like really long. I'm trying my best here, guys.
Yeah, I thought you were gonna say you jumped in. There's already somebody in there, like sleeping or something.
I mean, I know. Listen, you never know what you're gonna find in a dumpster around here.
Leroy.
Dumpster diving. Okay. So I do go dumpster diving for boxes and styrofoam and shipping supplies. Definitely. Again, you got to be careful with that stuff too. Especially if you're working out of your house, you could bring bugs back in your house, that kind of stuff. So please be careful with that kind of stuff. But I mainly just do go in dumpsters to get certain boxes. But But normally I just walk in the store and they know me, and I just get whatever boxes I want that way. So I don't do much dumpster diving, guys. But if there's a lock on it, don't go in it. If somebody comes out and tells you to leave, don't bicker with them. Just leave.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
There you go. So you know me, you know I've got a story, but like I didn't know anything about dumpster diving per se until I went to this small town that is near where I live, out in the country, and there used to be a thrift store there. And so I went to what used to be the thrift store. Is actually a lady who was doing children's clothing and toys, like basically kind of like Plato's Closet, you know, small scale kind of thing. So I went in there and I got talking to her about reselling. And because, you know, obviously she's somewhat in the business. And she goes, I'm so glad you came in here. She goes, I don't have anybody to talk to about this kind of stuff. And she goes, this is kind of embarrassing. Now, this lady is dressed like prim and proper, like somebody you would think like Miss Suburbia. And she goes, I do some form of that. She said, I actually dumpster dive. And I was looking at her like, what? So then she was telling me that she goes behind stores and does that dumpster diving. She was telling me about a particular makeup store that she was doing that at, and making hundreds and hundreds of dollars because they, like you said, new line comes out, they throw the old out. She did talk about that some of the stores actually make what they call soup. So they actually take and dump part of the makeup in the bag and shake it up to where everything's covered with that. She goes, I've washed a mini a mascara bottle, but to get that stuff off. But like there's things like that. So when she told me about that, I mean, you guys know me, dude. Like I'm not scared to try something. So like I was like, okay, let's go. So I actually drove behind some stores out near where I live and found some stuff. Like I actually found a shelving unit that I use in my shed today. I found some makeup, to be honest, and I sold that makeup pretty quick. What my kids didn't take, but but then I kind of looked at it, and then I did find, like what Leroy says, I found a particular retailer that has a clean dumpster. Clean dumpster, I mean, they don't throw any like garbage in there. What they throw is cardboard, styrofoam, and bubble wrap. So I can go there, and anytime I need that kind of stuff, it's still in one of those things. Now, I have been to other places that do throw out merchandise. And I would just say check your local office stores. They tend to do that. And building supply places tend to do that as well. Just FYI, I'm not going to give you particular names because I don't want people to go get in my dumpsters. Yeah, I don't do it all the time, but I did. I had a little run of it there for a while where I was checking things, and I found some stuff to make some money with. Tim mentioned the Craigslist. I'll just tell you guys, there's an app called Freebie Alerts. I'll try to remember to put the link down below. But Freebie Alerts, it'll link up to Craigslist and Facebook in your area. Mm-hmm. And you will get an alert saying, hey, so-and-so has this for free. So it's kind of like Curb Alert, but all rolled in one. So like in my area right now, there's like a recliner and a dresser and some bowls and all kinds of stuff. So like those are things you can put out there to look for as well. As far as dumpster diving, these guys have already said it. If it's locked, don't go in it. If someone tells you not to go in there again and they are related to the store and not another dumpster diver, you probably shouldn't do that. If there's somebody just trying to poach your territory, then you can work that out yourself. You might have to do Tim, like give him a little jab here or there, but that's totally up to you. I know, like Tim said too, there's also people that reality television is just that, right? It's unreality television, so like there's things you're not gonna find. I have found stuff that was pretty good. Out here, it's a unique opportunity. We have a lot of rental cottage situations. So there's not a day goes by you can't drive down the beach road and pick up curb alert stuff, because people buy stuff for vacation that they may never use again. I mean, there's beach chairs out there. There is tons of pool noodles. You can get pool noodles for free every day of the week driving down the beach road.
I love me a good boogie board, man. I don't know. Like, I was almost a professional boogie boarder, man. I used to shred some waves on the boogie board in Ocean City back in my heyday. You know what I'm saying?
Hey, let me ask you this, Tim. Did you wear socks on the beach when you were a boogie board?
No, I wear. Josie gets so mad at me, so now I'm not allowed to. Okay, but I used to wear socks all the way until I got to the towel down, and then everything out, and then I would take my shoes and my socks off. Back in the day, though, there used to be these dope water socks made by a shoe company called High Tech, and people in my neighborhood, like growing up, like you would rock these water shoes like out, like they were fashionable. You know what I'm saying? Not like the water shoes like the Jones you get on the boardwalk, you know what I'm saying? Like the black ones with like different shade colors on the side for like $5. Not them Jones. These was like, bougie water socks. But like, I don't know. Once I get to the water, I'm good. It's just, I generally wear my socks. Like I'm a weirdo. I know. Like after I finish at the beach, I go back up to the John, and I spray my feet down, and then I pat them dry, put my socks right back on until, obviously I met Josie, and Josie is like, you have to wear sandals or flip-flops. And I was like, all right.
Are you rocking the flops now, Tim? Are you rocking the flops?
I mean, if I'm like in another country, like, you know what I'm saying? Like on vacation, or if I'm at the beach, I'll wear, I don't know. My definition of a flip-flop is a little bit different than everybody else's. I'm not like doing the one where my toes go in between the thing. Like, what do you call those? I don't know what you call.
Those are called flip-flops.
See, to me, anything that flips and flops when you walk.
Are you talking slides? Are you talking slides? Is that what you're wearing?
Slides are flip-flops to me because they flip and they flop when you walk. You know what I'm saying? So but I don't do the toe thong one, the toe thong ones. That's not my style. I'm more of a slide guy.
These guys know, man. I'm wearing flip flops all but about 2 or 3 months out of the year.
Right.
It's one of these things. But I live at the beach, so it's that. There's that. Yeah, so I mean, I guess the generality is if you can get it for free, hey, good on you, man. Like, good on you. If you can get something for free, then feel free. There's lots of ways to do that. Don't steal it. I mean, that would be the warning. Don't steal it. But if it's out there, hey, swing on through. Like,
yeah. Here's the thing that people don't think about either, too. All these like Facebook groups, like community Facebook groups. I like when I was first reselling, I didn't have to do this, but I had some people reach out to me because I was doing some mentorship stuff. And what I told, they're like, well, I don't have any money to, I don't have capital to get started with. I said, well, what about like in your home and stuff like that? And they're like, yeah, but one other. And I said, well, how about this? How about you do this? Do y'all have like a big community yard sale? He's like, yes, we do. I said, okay, get with your Facebook group and tell people, hey, I will haul stuff away to you, like I'm not say like, just whatever works for you. Say, hey, I'll haul off, if you have small items, I'll haul that off. So you don't have to go to the Goodwill or the thrift shop to go donate that stuff. So, and it worked out. And that's something that, you can really do after a yard sale. You can just do a Facebook post in your community and say, hey, if you've got extra stuff, I'll come by and haul it off for you. You ain't got to say anything else. All they want to do is have that stuff out of there. Okay. Mm-hmm. So, and then here's the thing. That's a great thing. You can go and get the stuff and go, all right, this is a bunch of junk. I'm going to take it to Goodwill. Or, oh man, look at this, and this. I'm going to take that and resell it. And that's how you can get a start into doing as well with zero capital. All you're doing is doing time and maybe some gas money. Is that worth it for you? If you want to do it, it definitely could.
Yeah, one of our former guests, Old School Picker, if you guys check him out, but he's told us repeatedly, like back in the day, that's what he did. He actually had a little business called Yard Sale, and that's what he did. Is he was in it? He ended up starting his own Facebook group, but he had a Facebook group that he was involved in, and that's what he said. Hey, done with your yard sale, we'll come haul away what you have left. And he said there's countless things that you do that, like hey, 2 men in a truck kind of situation. Like I said, if you just load it up, drop it off at the thrift, sort through it like on the way there. Yeah.
Why not? You know what I'm saying?
Nice. Katie Reed's actually mentioned that when she was on with us about how she does local book pickups. And so she don't pay for items. She sources for free. Sometimes people even just bring it to her. So there you go. There's a couple items. Well, guys, obviously we have not even got to near what we can as far as sourcing. So hey, definitely 3. We'll see if there's 4, but definitely 3. So we're gonna go ahead and give everybody a chance to kind of get some closing comments. As always, I do appreciate each and every one of you guys for being there. I will drop the auction zip link and the freebie alerts link down below. And guys, if you want to support the channel, a great way to do that is to use our affiliate links. It doesn't cost you anything, and it's things that we use. That's the only reason we talk about it. So feel free to check out those down below. You can check out the guys' eBay stores. I've put in Poshmark stores. All those kind of things are down below. So feel free to use those links. And if you saw us on our IN and you see something in one of our stores, shoot us a message. Say, hey, I've been watching you on Reseller Information Network. What kind of deal you got? We're down to clown when it comes to deals, man, especially people that support us as a channel. So check those things out. Cernoch, what you got?
Yo, let me just tell y'all, I've been heavy in the glass right now.
I wonder why.
Show them that piece, man. Show them that piece. Cernoch found himself an absolute gem. This is a super nice
glass, 1930s L.E. Smith uranium glass right here.
Powder jar.
Powder jar. They call it the kissing elephants right there.
Very Art Deco. That is a fantastic find by
that I'm starting to pick up these little items, you know what I'm saying, here and there. You know what I'm saying? Tim always said, look for the stickers, and again, at my thrift store, I get stuff for cheap. So it's like, why not pick it up? Why not pick it up? Now, here's the thing. I did a little retail arbitrage too. Don't get it twisted. Look, we got retail arbitrage. We can be listing these brand new Nikes coming here this weekend. So we got a whole bunch of stuff. But I just want to thank everyone. Hey, everyone was asking about these sourcing videos, and hey, we're here to deliver. We're here to kind of give everyone's take, and everyone's situation is different. So again, take all the information we're giving to you and say, hey, what works best in my situation, my location, my cost range, all these items that we're telling you, that's where you can figure out what's going to maximize your bonus. Because here's the thing. We all started out like this, where it's like, all right, should we do this? Because there's so many other things to do. And we've kind of nestled down right now into kind of where we're at. But all these things are available to you. So if you're not taking advantage of that, so I don't ever want to hear, here's the one thing I don't want to ever hear from, my viewers or anything like that. I don't want to hear, I can't find anything where I live. Okay? Because it's out there. Eric, he's in the middle of the ocean, okay? He's way out there. So if he can do it, you can do it. I'm in the eastern panhandle of West Virginia. If I can do it, you can do it. Tim, you know what I'm saying? He's in a major city. If he can do it, you can do it. Leroy, he's got his own different thing, his own niche. So again, I don't want to hear, I can't find anything. Because guess what? We're going to talk about online arbitrage too. You know what I'm saying? Maybe in part 3. So it's like, it's everywhere. So thanks everyone for, joining us, comments, questions. That's what keeps us going. I like to see, I'm liking that everyone's coming on Tuesdays to hang out with us. again, that's a perfect opportunity. If you forgot to ask a question or ask a question there, you can get it answered. Or if you want to show us something or Google something, just let us know, And we have all our information down below, so you can just always hit us up. So definitely. And dude, this is episode 18. We're 2 episodes away from 20. That's a lot. Okay, that's a lot of episodes so far in the can. So hopefully y'all are enjoying them. And yeah, that's all I got.
Hey, I got one quick question for you.
Go ahead.
Pre-knowing Tim, would you ever picked up any of that stuff?
No.
Yeah.
Nope.
See,
Not at all.
we all grow.
Yeah,
That's for sure.
Not at all.
Leroy.
Guys, I do not like to go out of my element. I don't. But I have to confess to my friends here at the Reseller Information Network, I picked this thing up here. It's metal. I didn't know. I thought it was a tool. It's like
It is a tool. It's a cooking tool.
It was a tough day. It was a morning. I was cold. I picked it up. I was like, oh my God, look, it's a wrench. It wasn't a wrench. But anyway, guys, even when we say we niche out, we still look at other things. If you see the L on there, it's this is called Lifetime Cookware. These pans probably go for about $25 to $35 just for the bottom, and then you're gonna pay another $15 for the lid. So keep an eye out for that, guys. I appreciate everybody who has put comments in about my little dad jokes and just any way to support us and make us feel good about what we do. We take time. We take our own time. I'm driving down the road today. Forgot all about the show. They had to reel me back in. So, we all have busy lives, but we want to try to teach you guys from our heart. Like, we're not getting anything from this, but be able to hang out with these awesome guys and be able to teach you guys. So, I'm excited about episode 20. We're not there yet, but I'm excited about episode 20, and hope everybody has a good week. We'll see you again next week. And we will be around on Tuesdays. Don't forget to check us out Tuesdays for listing and loafing. And then you can ask me how I did at the auction coming up on Saturday.
There you go. Tim, take us out.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, I want to thank you all as always. We appreciate all the love, all the support, all the comments, all the questions. We would not be able to do this without you all. We probably wouldn't do it without you all, because then there would be nobody to do it for. But we do it for you because we are men of the people. We are the people's people. We are the people for the people. And we love you guys. And we want to thank you guys time and time again. Don't forget to tell a friend about RIN Reseller Information Network.